is this working? What do we think? Maybe. Oh, hello. Maybe. Yeah, that sounds hello. That sounds like me, doesn't it? Sweet. Okay, we're on the go. Yeah, hello. Yeah, we're on the go. Hooray! It always takes me bloody ages to figure this out. This is quite fast compared to the other day when it took me about 20 minutes to sort this out the other day. Let's just... Hello, everybody. Let's just go into Discord in the background here and say live now. One viewer, yeah, that'll be me. I'm logged into my own thing to try and make sure whether I'm working properly. And we're back with Ravnica Remastered. Let us get the actual app running. That's an important thing to do, isn't it? What's been going on? Nothing really. The usual round of bugs has started coming in. Seems like Omni, are there problems with Omni? Hard to tell. I think people have been having problems with Traumatize, and I think that might be some people playing with Omni, playing with Traumatize, and it might just be Traumatize that's the problem. I don't think I've had a problem with Omni, but then I haven't played it very much over the last couple of days. I have been having some problem with Crowl Whipcracker, which is working intermittently apparently, because some people have had no problems with it at all. But I have most definitely seen it fail many, many, many times. Let's just crack on with... I won't claim all my quests there. Let's just crack on with things, shall we? We're going off into the cards. Anybody remember where we got to last time? I think we got to... not very far, to be honest. Do you know what? I have a feeling it might be a nice short one tonight. I mean, I've been, planning on splitting these up into more parts anyway because the sets are longer. But it's just been getting hotter and hotter and hotter today. The sun has finally gone down now, that bastard in the sky. Heating up my front room endlessly. But if you hear squelching in the background, it's because I am sweating a lot. Card name. Apply. Look, I got some cards now. We seem to be getting a few super packs now, don't we? They gave us a free super pack, and I think there's a free super pack a week now from the quest system. Is that right? Which seems pretty generous, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, no, that's right. What we want to do is turn all of the cards on. That's right. Dark Confident. I was quite upbeat about this guy, wasn't I? I feel like I've been mulling it over, and I feel like that life loss is just going to be too much of a killer, really. I feel like, despite the fact that I as a Dakon player, can play this guy easily in one swap, and Marvo might take a little bit more than one single on colour swap. I feel that life loss is a bit of a killer. Maybe in another standard format he might have sung, but I might have been a bit nice about him, to be honest. He's the kind of guy I'd like to be balanced, but we have to talk about the standard environment we're actually in, don't we? As opposed to the standard environment we'd like to be in. They've just given us another event today, haven't they? With an objective where you have to win in 5 turns. So they obviously they go to the Navaldan school of hello Navaldan school of playing Magic Puzzle Quest, which is just that everything's got to win as fast as possible. I spoke to Navaldan a bit, actually. I DM'd him a little bit on Discord, and we seem to get on okay. But I do think like his perspective on the game might be skewed a bit by the fact that he plays. I think it's 6 accounts at the weekend. Is it? I know he's playing at least 3 accounts at the weekend. I think I remember he was playing 6 accounts. Anyway, he plays a lot of different accounts. And I think that's one reason why he wants the cards to be as fast and broken as possible. Yes, we saw Diluvian Primordial. We had a look at Dimir Guildmage, which was rubbish. We did not have a look at Dimir House Guard. Now this is got the transmute mechanic on it, hasn't it? There are no new mechanics, it doesn't seem like, in the set. There certainly weren't any, were there? When we went into the notes on the set, we had some Planeswalkers, we had a new event, we had no new mechanics. I mean, maybe they feel like, because this is kind of a reprint set, even though it's not a reprint set as far as we're concerned in the Land of Magic Puzzle Quest, because it's kind of a reprint set, maybe they feel like they can get away without making mechanics. But, I don't know, feels like a little bit of a letdown. I mean, it kind of makes no difference, really, does it? I mean, you know, they're obviously going to make mechanics and not keyword them. I'm sure we'll see this again. When this card is discarded, if it has 4 or more mana, fetch the first card with lesser mana value from your library. So this is, I think, what they're going to be doing from Transmute, and I'm pretty sure we'll see... I know Drift of Phantasms is in the set. I've seen it already. So I think we'll see this implementation of Transmute, even though it's not keyworded. But I don't know, I kind of don't like the way there aren't any keyworded, especially because Ravnica has had such strong keywords in the past, like Transmute, like Jumpstart. I mean, we say Jumpstart, we've really only got Beacon Bolt from that, haven't we, you know? But, you know, people do tend to remember the guilds and their different mechanics. So I just think it's a bit of a shame we haven't got them. Let's have a look at this specific one. Anyway, when this card is discarded, if it has 4 or more mana, fetch the first card with lesser mana value from your library. I mean, that's kind of awful, isn't it? Isn't that kind of awful? I mean, it doesn't discard, does it? Look, when it comes into the other sentence says, when a creature enters the battlefield, it gains shield counter 1. So it's an 11 mana 2/3 with shield counter 1. Why would we care? That's weird, I don't remember. Oh, it probably got regeneration in paper. That's probably what's going on. That's probably why they put shield counter on it. I didn't remember it having anything like that in paper, but yeah, it might have like a really old mechanic like regenerate. But the discard thing is kind of crap, isn't it? It doesn't discard itself, so you've got to discard it with something particular. And... oh, okay, no, maybe it's going to fetch something with less than 11 cost. I was reading it as fetching something with less than 4 mana from your library. But I think this is going to fetch something with less than 11 mana, so it's not going to fetch itself. So, I mean, I guess, to be perfectly honest, if we do happen to come across a blue Transmute card, and like I say, I know Drift of Phantasms is coming up. Not that that's going to be a particularly good one, but, you know, we have Ral, he's good at discarding things, and with his first ability. Dak Faden is very good at discarding things with his first ability. Can't think of a black Planeswalker who's great at discarding things, though. You can't call Liliana 1 great at discarding things, can you? I don't think... does she discard her own things? I can't even remember anymore. I think maybe she just discards your opponent's things, or maybe she discards from both of you. I can't remember. She's rubbish anyway. So, I don't know. I mean, there might be niche uses for these Transmute cards. That's all I'm saying. You know? On the face of it, not much use, but there might be niche uses for those cards. There is another Signet. We've already decided we don't like those. And here we have a big octopus motherfucker. When this creature enters the battlefield, return target opposing creature to their owner's hand. Now that's a good first sentence, isn't it? We like that. It's a 14 mana 4/4. Bit expensive. But there's lots more in the text yet. So that's exciting. Let's see what we get. Then your opponent discards one card at random. Interesting. So it's not necessary. It's going to bounce a creature. It's not always going to hit that creature to discard. In fact, a lot of the time, it's going to discard a different card. Of course, if your opponent's got no cards in hand, then he'll return it and discard it. But it doesn't really happen a whole lot in my experience that Greg has 0 cards. I was waiting around in the warm. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that, Shmara. As you know, I'm having lots of trouble with my software at the moment. I think I'm getting closer to understanding how it works. But so it only took me 5 minutes to get in today, but it did still take me 5 minutes to get in today, and I don't know how to stop my software creating like 2 or 3 different streams, which is not good, you know. I mean, how the hell are people gonna... I'm lucky I've got just you coming in. How the hell I'm going to get more people finding my stream if it's going to spawn, you know, a few decoy streams to lead them astray? I have few enough people watching as it is, but at least I have somebody today. Hello. So what have we got? We've still got more words on this card. So we're returning a creature, we're discarding a card, and really that's not much, discarding a card. When this creature deals combat damage to your opponent's planeswalker, your opponent discards the last card without mana from their hand. Right, that's really the killer, I think. I don't mind the fact that it comes into play and it does a discard, and then it does a discard every time it hits. That seems okay. Again, you know, discarding one single card a turn is not really what Standard is about these days. You can do it in the Silver Cup. Yeah, there's a guy who discards one card a turn, isn't there? That's uncommon, and he gets played in the Silver Cup. I think he might even have lifelink on him. But that does see play, but of course this is Mythic, so it's going in the rest of Standard, and the rest of Standard I think is too good for just discarding one card a turn. Not good enough. Disembowel, destroy target creature. I mean, wow, 12 mana. This is a problem, isn't it? That the one-on-one removal is it's getting worse and worse and worse. You know, we've still got Molten Collapse in the format, and now yeah, okay, fair enough. That's a rare, and this is a common, but yeah, we don't need another one. We don't need another one of these for the Commoners' Cup or the Silver Cup, do we? Hang on, Silver Jewel, Commoners' Cup. Always get those two mixed up. Dogpile. Yeah, you knew what that was going to do straight away without even having to read it, didn't we? Number of creatures you control. Doesn't even bother to count the reinforcements. Shitter than shit. Downsize. Target opposing creature gets -4, -0 until end of turn. Cleave! This has got Cleave! Where the hell is Cleave from? Is Cleave actually a mechanic from Ravnica? Is it originally? Should we go online and have a look? Should we just go and type pt2 MTG? Because I remember Cleave. No, it bloody isn't. I remember Cleave from Puzzle Masters 1, I believe, that's where I first saw it. It says here, over on my desktop PC, it says Cleave is from Innistrad Crimson Vow. So why the hell they're using it in Ravnica when they have perfectly good keywords that they're converting and not bothering to name? I really don't know. Anyway, this is pants. Look at this. Target opposing creature gets -4 until end of turn. Each opposing creature gets -4 until end of turn. It's just so bad. We move on. Dragon Shift. At the beginning of your turn, create a red dragon token. Wow, is that going to be a 5/5? It's a 3/3. Right, well, for starters, I'm inclined to believe that is misprint, yeah? Because dragon tokens are usually 5/5s. Even if it was a 5/5 though, I mean, that's just shit for 23 mana, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, it is, Steve. You don't need to tell me. Don't need me to tell you the token generating cards that are just so much better and so much cheaper than that. Dreadbore. Oh dear. We were just saying, weren't we? Well, you know, Disembowel, it's crap because it's a common, and now here we are with a creature removal spell at rare that's also too expensive. I mean, okay, we get rid of a creature and a Vanguard support. You know, a lot of the time I'm afraid to say that's just going to be a creature for 13 mana. Much rather have a much cheaper. Wouldn't you rather play with Sheldred's Edict that costs just 6 and gets either a Vanguard or a creature? I think I would. And I don't even play with that. So, I'm going to say it. I have to say it. I feel like it's being unsaid. Yeah? Requisition raid exists. There you go. I know it's a boring thing to say, but I felt like I was avoiding saying it. Yes, and Chaos Warp, yes, and Deem Inferior, yes, but removal is better than 1-for-1s now. Dread Malkin. When a non-token creature you control dies, this creature gets +2/+2. Garbage. Drift of Phantasms, here we go. This is a transmute card. I knew this was coming. When this card is discarded, if it has 5 or more mana, fetch the first card with lesser mana value from your library. I've just thought, Dak can't use this card, can he? Ral can use this card to transmute, because Ral discards a card. No, Ral doesn't even discard a card, does he? God, it's so long since I've actually played Ral. Ral just dumps some cards in your graveyard and draws a card, doesn't he? And puts 6 mana in it. So he can't use this transmute mechanic. Dak can't use it either because, unless I'm very much mistaken, Dak's first ability says you don't gain 15 mana if the card has any mana in it that you discarded. Oh, shit! So maybe there aren't going to be if there are niche uses for transmute, I think they just got a hell of a lot more niche, didn't they? I mean, on the face of it, 0/5 for 7 is rubbish. And then, yeah, you've got to discard something. You've got to put 5 mana in it anyway. And then it will fetch something. Again, I'm having difficulty seeing the niche use for these transmute cards. I still think they might have them. But they're generally speaking very bad cards. When this creature dies, your first creature gets +2/+2. Awful. Dustmantle Seer. Now, I've got this one. This is one of the Battles from the Ages cards. Did I say it right? I think I did. I'm always getting Battles for the Ages. Yeah. And Battle of the Ages. Well, I'm always getting that wrong, but I think I got it right this time. Battles from the Ages. There are 2 new cards. And, of course, if you have any Battles from the Ages exclusive content boosters, they get retroactively upgraded, and that's why I've managed to get one of these. I don't think either of them is very good. Zivert was trying to persuade me that the other one, that's not this one, has a use case. I mean, I guess he's right, but I don't think I care. We'll get to that later. This one says at the beginning of your turn, draw a card. Then each player loses X life. X is half that card's mana value up to 10. So you can see what Clive's doing here, can't you? He's making both players lose life, and he's thinking, well, that offsets by the fact that this creature itself here has lifelink. So he's put a little bit of thought into this design. Kind of low power though, isn't it? I mean, I guess you'd have to call it high shit tier. High shit tier? Low high shit tier? Maybe low high shit tier. I guess you'd have to put it there, but I mean no higher than shit tier, unfortunately. Dying Wish. When a creature you control dies, your opponent loses X life and you gain X life. Then destroy this support. Oh, it doesn't even stay in play. Well, it's rubbish then, isn't it? So we have a quick think about what it would be like if it did stay in play. Probably rubbish. To be perfectly honest, you might be able to do something with it if it stayed in play, but it doesn't. Regenerate, blimey! You don't see a lot of cards with regenerate on it, do you? And like, it seems a bit odd to put a regenerate on a 1/1. I still think that the devs don't know what regenerate does, because you see regenerate pop up on cards every so often, and I think they don't know what it does. I know what it does, but only because I've looked it up so many bloody times. Because they keep printing it on cards. Octagon used to do it as well. They'd put it on cards, and I'm like, well, that doesn't actually work then as an activated ability off a gem, does it? Anyway, I'm sure this creature pumps itself up because it's experiment 1, and I recognise this from paper. When a non-token creature enters a battlefield under your control, if it has greater power or toughness than this creature gets +1/+1. So that's basically the evolve mechanic, which I believe experiment 1 had the evolve mechanic in paper. When this creature is dealt damage, this creature gets -1, -0. Okay. I mean, it's terrible, isn't it? I don't remember it being an uncommon in paper. Have they bumped its rarity down? Maybe they haven't bumped its rarity down. I remember it being perfectly playable in standard. I mean, it might have even made it as far as like modern and legacy in standard, you know? But it's not in Magic Puzzle Quest, so we move on. Eyes everywhere. I think somebody played this against me, and it didn't work. I mean, somebody certainly played it against me earlier today, and it didn't seem to work. At the beginning of your turn, Surveil 2. I mean, not particularly powerful. When we have mana filler givers, but you know, not nothing technically. When this support is exiled or destroyed, it has 4 shields. It's not going to happen easily. When this support is exiled or destroyed, I mean, it might happen with like crystallize. You might be able to crystallize it yourself. Gain control of the first opposing creature with the greatest base cost. Oh no! I'll tell you what happened to me earlier. Greg stole one of my creatures, and then it immediately got shot by a desert. So I think I got a bit confused, and I decided maybe he hadn't permanently controlled the creature, but I think he did, because it went into his own graveyard and not into my graveyard. So yes. So we're surveilling 2 every turn. That's low power. And then when it's destroyed, we're gaining control of the first opposing creature with the greatest base cost, or, if you can't, an enchantment. Yeah, too hard to set off. Not enough power at the front, not enough power at the rear, not enough power. Eyes in the skies, create a bird token, then populate. Bird token is obviously a 1/1 flyer. Populate is going to populate it. So this creates a 1/1, and then it doubles out to a 2/2 for 9 mana. It's got flash. I think we'll probably get to a card where I'm going to talk more about flash later on. But, you know, I think my feelings on flash in Magic Puzzle Quest are generally pretty well known, but I feel like I might need to talk about it later. But this terrible, terrible card isn't the card to do it on. Farseek, I mean, that's a perfectly playable card in paper. Let's see what we've got. Fetch your first land support from your library. It gains 5 mana. I forgot to ask Zivert about these. We've talked about this before, haven't we? On these very streams, that like Zivert quite likes these cards that fetch lands, and I never really see the point in just not putting another land in your deck. I liked him a long time ago, and then I did a bit of thinking, and I thought, why don't I just play with another land? But I think Zivert still likes these, and I should ask him why, because I don't know. Anyway, I don't like it. Fatal Fumes. Target creature gets -4/-2 until end of turn. Rubbish. Fists of Ironwood. Create 2 sapling tokens. At the beginning of combat on your turn, your first creature gets +1/+1 and gains trample. First creature dies, destroy the support. Yeah, I don't see why they didn't just make it an aura, though. You know, I mean, they make spells that are auras, don't they? And this is an aura that goes on a creature. So I don't see why they didn't do that. Anyway, it's crap. We move on. 5-alarm fire. Not seen this one before. When a creature you control attacks, increase its card's level by 1. All right. Deal X damage to any opposing target. X is this support's level. So there's some power here. And I mean, obviously I'm going to compare it unfavourably to Desert, but this does have the ability to shoot people in the face. Do we care? I don't think so. It seems low power to me, doesn't it? I mean, if you're attacking with multiple creatures every turn, I think you're okay. Even if those creatures are small, I frequently attack with small creatures. I'm playing, you know, Marvo and Overlord of the Flood Pits. They don't kill people attacking every turn, but they do draw a lot of cards and put a lot of mana into it. So, yeah, some people might like this. And it, yeah, you know, it does technically do something that Desert doesn't do. But Desert is about a gazillion times more powerful than it. Footlight Fiend, when this creature dies, deal 1 damage to any target. Right, okay. This, by the way, this is the kind of card we're getting more of. Because they're making more cards in every set. I said this the other day, didn't I, you know? More cards in every set means instead of getting about 50 commons, we get about 90 commons now. And this is what we get. Make your own mind up whether that's a good thing or not. Forced Adaptation. Beginning of your turn, your first creature gets +1/+1. When your first creature dies, destroy this support. Yeah, they're doing it again. This is exactly the same thing they've done with this aura, haven't they? The point of an aura is that it affects a specific creature. You give it an aura, don't you? These work more like equipment, where whatever your first creature happens to be, it pumps it up. It seems unnecessary is what I'm saying, really. Like, we've had auras in the past, and they've done something. We've had equipment in the past, they've done something. And now they're giving us these auras that work differently from ones in the past, and there's kind of no reason for it. And I don't like that. And it's rubbish. We move on. Force landing, destroy target creature with flying. I mean, don't we have one of these in Origins for 3 mana? Okay, fine, it's got flash. If you want to play with this, if you want to play Plummet with flash, here you go. Foundry Street Denizen. God. It's a 1/1. When a red creature enters a battlefield and you control, this creature gets +1/+1. It is going to trigger off itself, isn't it? So there you go. So it is, in fact, a 2/1 for 6 that draws a card when it comes into play. It's still not exciting enough, is it? Nope. Furious Resistance. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike and vigilance until the beginning of your next turn. Okay. Gather Courage. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Okay. Oh, am I going to have to rethink my whole thing? I know. Probably say this a lot, but maybe I'm going to have to end up rethinking my whole thing, reviewing all the commons and uncommons, because I'm really getting to the point where I can't think of anything to say about all of them. It's got Convoke. Ghostway, destroy all creatures. Well, that's too expensive for 14. Then create X white spirit tokens. X is the number of cards destroyed this way, including their reinforcements. Okay, yeah. I mean, I would much rather just destroy all of Greg's stuff and leave my stuff standing. But, you know, if I happen to be throwing out tokens with the Elspeth Vanguard, you know, then what happens when I kill all those tokens is they all just basically come back again as spirits, you know, so... Yeah, so I'll probably end up mastering this card and I won't mind it. But, you know, there are better actual options for doing Wraths of God that only do one side of the board. Giant Adaphage. 22 mana again. Look at that. Huge cost. When this creature deals damage to your opponent's planeswalker, reinforce this creature. I mean, just not good enough for 22 mana. Some people are going to like to play it in Grist, aren't they? But those people are fooling themselves that that's the best creature they could be playing with. They could be playing with Rakdos. I mean, definitely high shit tier. you cannot complain about that being the highest of high shit tiers. Maybe high mid shit tier. No, hang on. Mid high shit tier, not high mid shit tier. No. It's definitely in high shit tier. But no better than that. You know, solid 4 shit tier. Gift of the Orzhova, not Grift of the Orzhova. I don't know what the Grift of the Orzhova would be. At the beginning of combat on your turn. Oh, look, you see, they've forgotten to make this one fall off. Yeah. This was an aura, and they remembered to make it die. And this was an aura, and they remembered to make it die. And we've only got to F, and they've already forgotten to do that. Yeah, this is an aura, but it doesn't die when your first creature dies. First creature +1/+1 and flying and lifelink. Yeah, okay, whatevs. I think lifelink, if you like. No, that's not going to move the dial in the common. Well, it's got to be the Silver Jewel, not the Commoner's Cup, hasn't it? Because it's uncommon. Oh, I have lost my place. There we go. Because, I mean, that's really what we're talking about commons and commons for now. Is just whether they apply in those two events, really. Gobhobbler Rats. Don't remember that artwork. I remember the card. I don't remember that artwork. At the beginning of your turn, if you have less than one card in your hand, okay, that's the Hellbent mechanic. This creature gets +1/+0 until the beginning of your next turn. Then this creature gains regenerate 1. I mean, again, it will have regenerate in paper. And that's why they've given it regenerate here. But regenerate in paper, like, stops things dropping dead. Regenerate does not do that. Am I going to tell you what regenerate does? No. I'm still not going to tell you what regenerate does. But let me tell you, it does not stop things dying. Oh, more regenerate. When this creature enters the battlefield, it gets +X/+X. X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Right. I mean, I guess they learnt their lesson probably with... Is it called Chain Reaction? Yeah, that used to sprog tokens into play for every card in your graveyard. Maybe they learnt their lesson with that. I mean, you know, this would only check that once. Chain Reaction would do it every turn. It would sprog detectives into play. This is wildly problematic. But yeah, I mean, nobody really cares. Even Grist doesn't really care about a creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures in your graveyard. Yeah? If you want that, if you want a card that scales up as your graveyard gets bigger, might I suggest Bloodghast. When this creature is dealt damage, this creature gets -1/-0. That's weird, isn't it? That's the same clause they put on the Experiment 1. And it's almost just completely irrelevant again. Beginning of your turn is if this card is in your graveyard, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Then destroy the top 6 cards of your library. Okay, that is... Oh, what's the name of that mechanic? I want to say mulch. It's not mulch, is it? What's it called? Mostog had it as well. Yes, that's right. Steve's tablet there. In fact, all these Golgari cards are probably going to have it. The Golgari Guildmage doesn't. And the Golgari Signet doesn't. But I remember the Thug does. Oh, what's it called? I'm going to type this in as well. Golgari Thug. Because I can't remember the name of it. Dredge! That's what it's called. It came to me before I promise, before it came up on the screen. I remember what it's called. Now, dredge is a mechanic that actually made it all the way into Vintage. You know, obviously you do broken things with it by playing with things like Bazaar of Baghdad. But dredge is a mechanic that is extraordinarily powerful if you can break it. And if you can't break it, it's just kind of quite good in sealed. Do we care about it in Magic Puzzle Quest? It's obviously going to be doing the same thing. Let's move on to the Thug. If this card is in your graveyard, return it to your hand, then destroy the top 4 cards of your library. So in paper, the dredge trigger is when you would draw a card. So you can dredge things multiple times in a turn if you can just keep drawing cards and discarding them. Precisely what Bazaar of Baghdad is used for. But here in Puzzle Quest, it's only triggering once at the start of your turn. The creature goes back into your hand automatically. You don't have to do anything, and dump some cards from your library into the graveyard, making your graveyard bigger. I'm not sure we're going to find that Grist cares about that, do we? Even though Grist likes having a big graveyard, like Grist is going to want the creatures that she pulls out of it to be really huge and matter, and not these tiny things like Golgari Thug. And yes, even Golgari Grave Troll isn't particularly interesting, is it? So let's say you've got a Golgari Grave Troll and you cast a Gather the Pack. You dump 4 of them. Is it 4? No, I don't think you do you? Oh yeah, no, I think you do. I think you dump 4 of them in the graveyard and put 1 in your hand. And then at the start of your next turn, 24 cards drop into your graveyard. Now, that might not happen. Maybe if the Golgari Grave Troll doesn't have room to come back into your hand, because you've already got 6 cards, maybe it's not going to destroy those top cards of your library. So I don't know. There is some ability there to put a lot of cards in your graveyard for free. So I suppose it's over to the Johnnies then to see if they can do anything with it. Because, I mean, yeah, Grave Troll's going to... I have a feeling Grave Troll's going to be the best one. I mean, nobody wants a 6-mana 1/1. When this creature dies, return the last creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, that does nothing, basically. Greater Moss Dog, again, 9-mana 3/3, doesn't do anything else. So none of these cards are any good on face value. It's just going to be a question of whether their ability to put a lot of cards in your graveyard... And it's not happening all straight away as well. You know, Legacy players like things to happen right fucking now. They don't like to have to wait until next turn, the start of next turn. So Legacy players aren't going to be that excited about it. I doubt it. I doubt the Legacy players are, well, the combo players, that is to say. Even the standard combo players are going to care that much about it. Again... We're looking at the Silver Cup and the... No. I don't know. Go work it out, combo players. We skipped over the Guild Mage because it's clearly rubbish. We skipped over the Signet because it's clearly rubbish. Let's get on to the Greater Forgeling. Activate 1 red. Yeah, that's rubbish. Moss Dog we looked at. Grizzly Spectacle. Destroy target non-artifact creature. Then destroy the first X cards of your opponent's library. That is not a good thing to do. Please learn this, Webcore, right? That is, milling your opponent is a valid strategy. And in fact, I believe that Dimir used to kill people regularly in sealed events. In the original Ravnica set, this is probably where this is from. Because your opponent would run out of cards. If you put cards into your opponent's graveyard in Magic Puzzle Quest, you're just giving them fuel for things. Yeah? They're not going to die from it. There are no negative effects from it. Unless you're specifically playing somebody like Kaya, I suppose. But, you know, Kaya's got better ways of doing it. Don't like it. Ground Assault deals X damage to target creature. X is half the number of red and green gems on the board, rounded down. Okay, so that's about 6 damage. It's about the same as an Exquisite Firecraft, which can damage a player as well. So yeah, whatever. Gorgil Mage, clearly rubbish. Grawl Signet, clearly rubbish. Just scanning the card, make sure they haven't snuck some extra text on them. Gaia Sage. When a non-token creature enters a battlefield under your control, if it has greater power or toughness than this creature gets +1/+1. Okay, that's the evolve mechanic. Activate 2. Convert X gems to green. Then this creature gains can't block and can't attack. This is this creature's power. Yeah. Rubbish. Hands of Binding. When the support enters a board, opposing creatures gain stun counter 1. Right, 22 again. What's with these expensive cards? Opposing creatures stun counter 1, that's not very powerful. And they don't freeze straight away because of the stupid way that stun counter's been implemented. Ah, here we go. There's some more stun counters. When your first creature attacks, the first opposing creature gains stun counter 1. When your first creature dies, destroy the support. Okay, so this has got they've remembered to put the aura mechanic on this card, but they've not remembered to write the support type aura on it. Or indeed, any support type. This is, I hate it. This is one reason why they just, should stop making so many cards that hit cards with specific support subtypes, because they just forget all the time. They forget to put subtypes on supports. So what do we got here? We're you could say that for 22 mana we're locking down a single creature indefinitely while we've got one creature in play. You could say that. You could also say, when your first creature gets shot, that's your entire investment of that creature and this 22 mana card down the drain. So, I mean, this is a mythic. Assimilation Aegis is a mythic. We should be, this isn't a common to rare power discrepancy we're talking about. This is just pretty fucking bad. What's a target creature can't block? Oh, sorry, it's because I clicked on the side. I got very confused there while I scrolled it and it said this creature can't block, and I thought there's nothing written on this card that says this creature can't block. But it was looking off the side of the screen. Helium Squirter. This has got some kind... I think this is an evolve card in paper again. When a creature enters a battlefield, you may have this creature get -1/-1, then that creature... this creature get -1/-1, then that creature gets +1/+1. I don't think that's the same way they've been doing evolve on other cards, though. I mean, that's not... It's not even worth going into. Not only have they not keyworded evolve, they're just not prepared to spend any time making it work in a uniform way. I mean, it's just... It doesn't make much difference if you don't know the cards from paper, but it's just a little extra barrier. It's one of those things like when they decide to make loss of life completely separated from damage. It's just one of those things that there's no reason for and creates a little extra barrier if you're coming in from paper, which is not a good idea. Then again, who gives a toss about a common card? So when you make a match 4 by swap, if you control a buffed creature, so talking about landfall then. I mean, they're so allergic to putting keywords on cards. They haven't even put landfall on this one. If you control a buffed creature, gains flying, right, so rubbish then. 10 mana, 4 damage to target opposing creature. Then deal X damage to that creature. X is 4 times the number of that creature's reinforcements. I mean, nice try. You know, nice try. Trying to make me think of the fact that, like, it could kill a whole stack of Elspeth tokens or a whole stack of Tainted Adversary tokens. But, you know, we've moved on from there. It's not... This isn't killing a stack of Galters, is it? Yeah? I mean, okay, I suppose it is killing a stack of Bloodghast. It's not killing a stack of Rakdos either, probably, is it? Well, no, because a stack of Rakdos probably started off as 1 card. Anyway, rubbish. Horncaller's Chant. 17 mana, look at that. I mean, what are they doing? This is a 4/4, yeah, I guess you'd expect that. So it's an 8/8 for 17 mana. Anyone excited? Nope. Illness in the Rain. Have we seen one single card that we like so far? Dark Confidant is the closest, but, like, I don't actually like it. I'd like to like it, but I don't actually like it. Like, looking back at TDM, we had some kind of, you know, we had some of those Dark Confidant-like things, which are like 2 or 3 that, what was it called? Expressive iteration? You know, and players were talking about it, and they were chase cards for the other content creators, and I was like, no, not good enough to see play in Standard. But at least we had some of those in TDM, and what we've got so far is Dark Confidant, and I don't even think that I should have been that kind to it. Illness in the Ranks. At the beginning of your turn, each token creature gets -1/-1. I mean, that's not going to achieve anything at all, is it? Illusionist Bracers. Oh, that's the guy on the when you start a match, isn't it? Before you start a game. That's the guy who pops up on the screen at the moment. When you cast a creature card, if it doesn't have the knowledge emblem, create a copy of that card in your hand. That creature's power and toughness gains 0/1 and gains a knowledge emblem. Now, I feel like we've already got 2 of these cards. Virtue of Knowledge, I think, does basically exactly this, doesn't it? In fact, shall we look it up? When you cast a creature card, if it doesn't have the knowledge emblem, create a copy, gains 0/1, and it gains the knowledge emblem. Let's actually look some of these things up, shall we? Knowledge... Because I feel like... Okay, so straight away what I'm seeing there is... Oh, no, it does, doesn't it? The knowledge emblem. Where is it? Illusionist Bracers. If it doesn't have the knowledge emblem again. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking that maybe this just copied things indefinitely. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? But... No. Whenever you play 1 creature, you get a second copy of it, so you get to copy all of its into the battlefield effects. Yeah. So that's exactly the first sentence of there, and the second sentence have been left off, and we haven't got the other side of it either. Got anything else? When you cast a creature card, if it doesn't have the knowledge emblem, and half its mana. Oh, it's not even fucking casting it. This one was casting it outright, wasn't it? Yeah, that was casting it outright. This one's casting it outright. Admittedly, this one, the side that does that, costs 20 mana. And the other cards just happen to have the word knowledge in it, mostly. Copy a non-target with the knowledge emblem. What I'm saying is, Illusionist Bracers is a card we've already got, and it's a worse version of it. That's what that little detour was all about. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's go back to where we actually... Oh, look! I've got a brand new Ore of the Guilds. I'm so excited. Out of my super pack. We need to skip forward to... Illness in the Ranks. Illusionist Braces. Immortal Servitude, 25 mana. Return the first 3 creature cards from your graveyard to play under your control. We've got this as well, haven't we? We've got... Isn't it cheaper? It's not black. That's what it's not. Mana cost. Raise the past. Each creature card from your graveyard into play under your control. This is a more expensive card. Yeah. At the same rarity, it's rare, isn't it? That only gets 3 of the creatures. What's going on? What's going? Can we have something going? We're nearly halfway through the set and we've had nothing we describe as good yet. Has there ever been a set with 0 good cards in it? Because I think we might be approaching that soon. Because maybe they are. Maybe they're trying to, you know, power down the set, and in their strange, bizarre minds, they're thinking to themselves, well, maybe standard is a bit too powerful, which it is. So maybe in their strange, bizarre minds, they're thinking, let's drop the power level of every single card, even the ones nobody was playing with before. You know? Now, I don't know. Even if they are doing it, I don't think they're going to be able to hold their nerve, to be honest. Because there'll come a point where even people who are paying for cards will just be like, well, I've got everything I need to compete in standard at the moment. I'm just going to have this set off. So, even if they have realised that standard's too good at the moment, and they're never going to admit it, but what they might be doing is like powering everything down and just waiting for 3 years until all the powerful stuff rotates out. I don't think they'll hold their nerve. I think they'll do it for a couple of sets and then, fuck it, we'll just make something really, really stupid. Or, who knows, maybe we'll get through halfway through this set and there'll just be another Mystical Teachings that costs 7 mana. Incursion Specialist. When you cast your second card each turn, this creature gets +2/+0 and gains unblockable. Absolute garbage. Infernal Tutor. I mean, this should be good. Come on, it's got Tutor in it. Even if you don't know this card from paper, it's okay. I think it's got Unearth. I want to say it's got the... It's a version of Demonic Tutor, but it's got a mechanic on it. I think the mechanic might be called Unearth. Oh, maybe it's Hellbent. Who knows? It's got some kind of mechanic on it. It's worse than Demonic Tutor, but it was still pretty good in some sets. I think, actually, yeah, I think it might have been Hellbent. I think it might have been, people might have comboed it with Lion's Eye Diamond in paper. Maybe, in fact, maybe I've even played with it in some of my Ill-Gotten Gains decks. It's been a long time, that's why I can't remember. But Tutor. Tutor should be good. Let's see what this one is. Pick 1. The first 4 cards of your library, fetch that card. This card gains 6 mana. Then if you have less than 2 cards in your hand, that card gains 6 mana. Right. So, I mean, we're basically kind of in illicit shipment territory, aren't we? Illicit shipment does the first bit of the card for 5 mana. And then for an extra 5 mana, you might get an extra 6 mana. Illicit Shipment, I believe, has rotated out, hasn't it? I'm pretty sure. It sounds like Illicit Shipment. Sounds like it's like a Streets of New Capenna card to me. Just from the title of it. But yeah, I mean, Infernal Tutor, compare and contrast, Mystical Teachings. If you haven't got it yet, by the way, why not? Go and get that card. Shmara, have you got Mystical Teachings? Go and get Mystical Teachings. Yes, you do need something to play with it. You are going to need a Golden Wish or Attempt with Discovery or a... what's the other one? Breach the Multiverse. I think Breach is about to rotate out, but the other two aren't going to rotate out for a while. But get Mystical Teachings. It's amazing. We looked at Is It Charged, didn't we, yesterday? We cheated. We skipped ahead by looking at the Epic Pack. Oh, that reminds me. We're going to look at the Epic. We're going to skip ahead and look at the rest of the Epic Pack today. Because I want to know if there's anything I want for the Coalition event. So we looked at this yesterday, so I'm not going to look at it again. I'm going to move on to Is It Guildmage, who, just because he's Is It, I am going to read, even though it's Activate 1 and Activate 1. Copy the first spell, the base mana cost, and don't put mana in it. First spell card without mana gains 3 mana. It's garbage. Is It Signet? Garbage. Okay. Judge's Familiar. Okay. Right. Come on. Masterpiece. Let's have one. When your opponent casts a spell, if a card in your opponent's hand has mana, drain all mana from your opponent's hand. Then destroy this creature. Oh, they can't even let us have it, can they? Oh. I mean, this doesn't even work in Legacy, does it? Because it does not work against Omni. That's the thing. Because as soon as the Omni goes down, everything just costs 0 and you haven't got any mana in your hand. So yes, this would have been, a combo counter to the old Loop Hero deck with the insta mana filler givers in it. You know the one. Genesis Wave, Bright Glass Gear Hulk, all of that stuff. This would have been a counter to that. I mean, you could make the case that it still is, as soon as your opponent plays one card. One spell, it's going to drain all the mana from your opponent's hand. When your opponent casts a spell, if a card in your opponent's hand has mana, drain all mana from your opponent's hand, then destroy this creature, otherwise destroy that card. Okay, so I was just having a little bit of a read there to see if we liked that, destroy that card. But that's actually quite unlikely to happen, isn't it, That's what you'd like to happen, is that this creature stayed alive and just kept destroying spells. But that's only going to happen if on Greg's move he gets exactly the right mana to cast the spell and no more. If he gets a little bit more, then he's got mana in his hand, hasn't he? And this creature's going to die. I'm calling it. It's bad. I don't think so. If this is the kind of counter we've got to combo decks, then combo decks are just going to keep going, aren't they? And, the Loop Hero deck isn't the only combo deck, is it? I mean, this doesn't do a sodding thing about Ocelot Pride, does it? I'm calling it. It's a bad card. At the beginning of your turn, this 8 mana 0/6 says, at the beginning of your turn, if it survives that long, return the first card from each player's graveyard to the bottom of their library. I mean, that's just nothing. I mean, I've been bending over backwards to say that this card over here might have a niche case and that card over here might have a niche case in this set, haven't I? Which is basically me just trying to cover my arse, rather than saying that everything's absolute garbage and people end up playing with things. I'm just trying to cover my arse a bit with the transmute, just in case the Johnnies do come up with something clever. I don't think they will, but in case they do. But this has no use and is absolutely a waste of everybody's time and space. Karlov of the Ghost Council. This is the second Battles from the Ages card that I have got, because I opened up one of my spare Battles from the Ages boosters. 2 of them, in fact, earlier today. When you gain life, this creature gets +1/+1. Increases this card's level by 1. If this card's level is 6 or more, exile a random opposing creature, then this card's level becomes 1. I'm singularly underwhelmed by this card, right? It doesn't gain life itself, So you're having to gain life from other things. Yeah? You look at Agros Kos, you know, and he's giving things menace, and then the next turn he's killing things. Yeah? And that's doing every 2 instances of him attacking. This is doing something every 6 instances of gaining life. So I said this earlier today in the Battles from the Ages channel, and Zidvert, who just lives for telling me I'm wrong about things. Hi Zidvert. He said, yes, but what if you have Healer of the Pride and say you use Guff's second ability? He was clever there. He didn't make it a 3-card combo. He knew I'd junk it if it was a 3-card combo. So he in fact made it a 2-card combo with a specific Planeswalker, which kind of counts as a 3-card combo, but he can get away with saying it isn't. And I don't know. I mean, what I said is that at that point, you may as well just play Ocelot Pride. To be perfectly honest. You know, I don't think you can say that Karloff of the Ghost Council is the good card in that combo. I think Healer of the Pride is doing all of the fucking work there, to be perfectly honest. Keening Apparition. When this creature dies, exile an opposing enchantment card at random. Right, they kind of like these types of cards at the moment. We've seen quite a lot in this set, haven't they? Of when this thing dies, a thing happens. We've had when this thing dies, a thing stops happening. That's as a downside. But this is kind of a little boon that happens when it dies. And we hate both versions of it. Stop doing it. I mean, what? 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 Night Watch. Jesus Christ, there's another one. 2 white Vigilant Knight tokens. Of course they're going to be 2/2 with Vigilance for 10 mana. 2 Goblin tokens for 5 mana. Lazav, Dimir Mastermind. Right, let's see what we've got. I feel like we've already got him. I know we've got 2 Lazavs already. Maybe we haven't had this version of Dimir Lazav, sorry, before. I mean, the one who works with Surveil, I used to play him a lot. That definitely isn't this one. I feel like we've already got this one, but maybe we haven't. Oh, do you know what? It is actually finally starting to cool down from all the heat of the day. Let me just shut a couple of doors and maybe a couple of windows. When an opposing creature dies, this has got hexproof. You don't see a lot of creatures with just plain hexproof, do you? Hope the signal didn't cut out there while I was walking into other rooms. Actually, give me a sec. I'm going to run to the back of the house. I'm not going to take the tablet back there because I'll lose my signal. I'll be 10 seconds. Count them. Count them for me. Don't stop counting. Keep counting. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I told you, didn't I? 10 seconds. I told you. When an opposing creature dies, you may create a copy of that card in your hand. Again, don't like it. Too late to be happening. Too combo-y to be happening. The card gains half its mana. Rounded down. Lots of half manas. I mean, maybe they have learnt the lesson that Octagon eventually learned. That you just can't write full mana on fucking everything. It kind of seems like that today, doesn't it? We've got a lot of half mana cards, not so many full mana cards. Certainly not. We've seen no mana filler givers yet, have we? We've seen nothing that just says every turn, have a card, fill it with mana. There you go. So maybe they have learned their lesson, but you know, what are they going to do about the ones that are already still in standard? Are they really going to do it? Are they really going to make cards that are worse than those for 3 years, wait for them all to rotate out, and then we'll have a balanced standard format? So the game's not going to wait that long, I don't think. The players aren't going to wait that long. Life from the Loam. This is a dredge card. This is very cheap. Return the first land card from your graveyard to your hand. At the beginning of your turn, if this card is in your graveyard, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. yeah, I don't see the use case for that. I'm trying to think what the use case was in paper. There was definitely a use case in paper. I think you would just kind of keep, it's a dredge card that you could just kind of keep casting. And it would keep generating value for you. But I'm not sure it generated a lot of value. Not sure it was ever as powerful as like a Thawing Glaciers or anything like that. But I do kind of remember playing with Life of the Loam. But the memories are all too vague to bring to mind. So, Lightning Helix. I can remember specific things about Lightning Helix, so I'm going to fucking talk about it. Because I don't often have things to say about bad cards. Is this a bad card? Fucking right, it's a bad card. 3 damage to any target, then gain 3 life. I don't understand Lightning Helix in paper, and I never have. Right? I never understood why Lightning Helix is a good card. It must be a good card because players who are much, much better than me used to win events with it. But they would put it in things like legacy decks. You know? Like, you can't really play Burn in Vintage. You could play Burn in Legacy, sorry. Burn doesn't really work in Vintage, but you can play it in Legacy. We'll just fill your deck full of Lightning Bolts and Flame Rifts and things. And I understand why Lightning Bolt is a really good card, dealing 3 damage for 1 single mana. You only need to point 7 at those of somebody's face and they're dead. Incidentally, this is all completely irrelevant to this card you're looking at. I'm just going to say it anyway, though. I never understood why Lightning Bolt, because twice as expensive, 2 mana, just seems quite a lot for a removal spell that doesn't kill large creatures. And I'm not comparing it to Swords to Plowshares, but I am comparing it to Lightning Bolt. But just by stapling a healing salve onto the end of it, adding that white mana to the cost, and gaining 3 life, somehow it became a good card, and I don't understand why. And like I said, good players have played with it in Paper Magic tournaments, and they've done much better than I would have, so they obviously know what they're talking about. I've never fucking understood it. This card, rubbish. How are we doing for time? It feels like we're probably getting to the end. We're past halfway, aren't we? Yeah, let's do this one last card. I've probably gone a bit longer than I should have tonight, to be perfectly honest. We'll do this one last card because I can see it is a mythic. And we like to try and end on a high note, don't we? And then we will call it a night for tonight. That will be the end of part 2. I have gone on slightly too long, haven't I? But that's okay. I think I'm still going to have to split the last of it into 2 different parts. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do all of the last 118 cards all in one session. Bit of maths there for you. Are you impressed? Yeah? Be impressed. This is Luminate Primordial. Oh no, the last card we had. Oh, well, there you go. There was our one card, actually. I was ranting and raving earlier about the fact this set hadn't had a card in it. I'd forgotten all about it because it was the last card we did. This is like an insta-mana filler giver, isn't it? So, I guess you would have to call this the card that's in the deck so far. And it looks like we're getting a cycle of these. That's why we went back there. It's just to say that's a Primordial. This is a Primordial, wherever it is, here. So it looks like we're getting a cycle of these. And maybe more than one of them would be playable. When this creature enters the battlefield, destroy the opposing creature with the highest cost. Okay, well, it's a bit much. 18 mana, 4/7 vigilance is a bit much for that. We've had a black one before, haven't we? I can see the image of the card in my head, but I can't remember the name of it. It's not much use, is it? It had Defender, it was an 8/8, it was a black card, it gained some life when it came into play. Niche, again though, not really powerful enough. I do remember putting it in a deck here or there, but niche. Anyway, this has got more. We're destroying the opposing creature with the highest cost. When this creature is destroyed or exiled, exile a random non-token exile opposing support, then gain X life. Well, that's basically nothing. So it's not very powerful, is it? I mean, you're playing Rakdos, aren't you? You're going to play Rakdos and not this. It's too expensive. It's getting rid of a single creature and then a single support really unreliably. I mean, getting rid of one support on a board full of supports is pretty unreliable anyway. This has the decency to do non-tokens, so it's not like Ajani can hide it amongst all his little token supports. The one thing that you want to blow up. But just getting one single support is pretty unreliable anyway, and this adds the unreliability of this card having to be cast. So, yeah, you can call it a 2-for-1 if you like, but I don't like it, and I'm not going to be playing with it. Right, that's the end for tonight, folks. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to have to try and sort something out, aren't I, with the software, because, yeah, if I'm starting 3 different sessions and only one of them is becoming live, then yeah, there's going to be people funneling off into the other ones. I think I might have a fruitful line of research as to how I can kind of prevent that happening in future. I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, but my idea is if I set the session up in advance and then I leap back into it, so I'll set it up a little bit earlier than 9 o'clock for next time, leap back into the session rather than trying to create the session and join it at the same time. That seemed to be what solved the problem tonight. So I really, really hope I can get to the bottom of this with the software just doing wrong things. But I'm afraid we'll have to see. Part 3, when are we going to do part 3? I might have to wait until next week. Honestly, don't know how draining I'm going to find the weekend, to be perfectly honest. I feel like it might be fairly draining. If it's going to be A, a heat wave, and B, a coalition event, there's always the possibility. Sometimes I breeze through the coalition events, and sometimes I just find them real slog, and I can't remember which one it is this weekend. So I don't think I'm going to be aiming to do part 3 of the stream at the weekend. So we're looking at Monday or Tuesday, okay? So I will see you all then. Thanks for being in. Anyone was in. I think it was just Shmara today, wasn't it? Thanks to the people in the future. Like and subscribe. That's what they say, isn't it? Yeah. And I will see you all, Monday or Tuesday next week. Probably Monday, to be perfectly honest. And until then, goodbye.